This was a One Piece chapter I wanted! Of course, we still do not know if Sanji and Ko are alive, but yes! So many things happened over the New World that it's awesome! First of all, we switch to Sakazuki Akainu, who is actually having a fight with the Gorosei. Well, not fight, argument. I mean, I cannot figure out Akainu's personality. I mean, he disliked the fact that he was manipulated by the government in order to about Don Flamingo's resignation. But the Gorosei themselves do not really like that Akainu himself is the new fleet admiral because he has a huge honor there. It's also actually this also more increased the villainy of the Gorosei. We all know that they are paranoid and extremely villainous, but this, they actually says in Akainu's face, you are merely the face of the government. I mean, if that doesn't speak corruption, that nothing will. I mean, we have already know that they are corrupted, but come on, you gotta admit that line just says it all, how corrupt they really are. And in fact here, it's actually pretty awesome that even though I hate Akainu, he actually calls the Gorosei puppets of the world nobles, which could very well mean that the Gorosei, although they are the rulers of the world, they are not the rulers over the world nobles. So technically, although it's very likely that it's that case, I mean, the world nobles are the gods, the descendants of the ones who formed the government, so it's only logical that the world nobles are the true rulers of this world. However, given to how corrupt they are, it's very likely that the Gorosei is the puppets that are controlling the government, since the world nobles can't. And if anybody's gonna have beef with them, it's gonna be with them. Either way, a man report in about the alliance, and of course the Gorosei are furious. And about how Fujitora bowed and everything. Kuros disband the dwarfs and Rikodold says to Tank to take in all the wounded pirates into the castle to protect them. But then we are also, as many countries surrender to the war, actually a bit wonders. I wonder how these countries were actually. The countries that are at war have now surrendered. Makes me wonder though how corrupt they really were. All angry Brookers who are angry at their not getting the money anymore promises revenge on Law and Luffy. Elsewhere we hear but not see Vice Admiral Garp, who apparently having a talk with Sururu. Which very likely mean that Sururu had been chasing Don Flamingo forever and could never arrest him when he became a Shibukai. Now that Don Flamingo is defeated, technically that mission could be over. And here comes the funny part. We are switched to finally some members of the worst generation. And there's first we see the glutton Yuri Bonnery, who strangely sings. Who is strangely happy with their contemporary or their companions. Makes me wonder, is she gonna be an ally? I thought she hated Luffy since he caused that incident. But given to the fact that Yuri hates government too, it's very likely. We also switch to Uruj, who is apparently in a sky island resting his wounds. He doesn't really look so much impressive and where. Is he also gonna join? Then we switch to that was the Mad Monk Uruj. I mean, then we switch to the father, the living battleship man, the Dawn, Kapongang, who is also saying that their bodies have been more active, but he will take Caesar. So are these three gonna become allies? I highly doubt it. I mean, Uruj, I want to know exactly how weak that guy is. He had the weakest Bumte of all, so technically he should be the weakest, right? But Kapongang, I highly doubt he will become an ally. I mean, he is the type of person Luffy hates the most. He treats his allies like pawns. There's no way Luffy's gonna team up with that kind of guy. And we also finally hear who the three alliance of on-air Hawkins and Kid Pirates are after. And let me tell you, I did not expect this. They are after Shanks. Red hair, Shanks. Not good. Now I know for a fact Luffy is gonna fight Kid and his allies. Because as much as Shanks is powerful, Luffy will not tolerate anyone fighting Shanks until he can. So there's no way he's gonna ally himself with those three. We also switch to Drake, who has confirmed one thing an SBB says. You know that corrupt pirate Diaz Barrel? Apparently that was Drake's father, because I did not see that back then, but Dory was Drake all those years ago when Law got the Opi no Mi. And now it's basically confirmed that Drake is a member of the Kaido Pirates. But the way he looks at the newspaper makes me wonder now, how is he gonna be an ally? I mean, besides Law, Drake is the one I most want to hear a story about. Why did he become a Marine? I mean, we know how he became a Marine. But apparently he looked up to his father, but then his father became corrupt and brutalized him. And then he was captured by the Marines and joined them anyway. So what I'm trying to ask you, I want to know Drake's history. Why did he come back to be a pirate? I want Drake as an ally. And finally, we're switched to Sakazuki. We see a silhouette that apparently is Kaido, or is that Kaido's house. Either way, it doesn't a single bit look like the picture we have seen of him. It looks like a devil. Either way, Sakazuki is of course exploding, confirming that although he doesn't like to be a pawn of the Gorosei, he is not above changing the rules and all. Because it turns out that long ago, Fujitora had a talk with Smoker on how much he lamented the fact that they covered up the Alabasta and he didn't have the power. Speaking of Smoker, we switch to him. He's healing up and the kids are still heading off to Vegapunk. They're still giant big. It's pretty cute to see how Taji is so much liking kids. Even though Akainu explodes to Fujitora and demands that he returns to the government, to the Marine headquarters, with the heads of Law and Luffy, or more likely, get the heads of Law and Straw Hat, or don't come back at all. Something like that. So yeah, a lot of things happen, and this was a long video, but I really wanted this kind of chapter. The incidents all over the world scream. We see some worse degeneration. We see now a little bit more about Akainu's personality. That he is a very corrupt marine, but at the same time wants to do what he wants to do. But now is the problem though. Fujitora agrees with Akainu. So that does mean he is now going to fetch Law and Luffy's heads? Or is he just gonna leave? Who knows? But this was all Fujitora's plan all along. By bowing down and apologizing, and all the news already spreading, he is basically saying to the government the Shibukai system is bad. So yeah, this was a huge blow to the government, and for an admiral like him, that's not pretty good. I actually thought Akainu would fire him, but then again, how powerful Fujitora is, it's very unlikely. But do give me your thoughts. Who do you think is going to become an ally to Law and Luffy's alliance, if the alliance still is going to be there? Are the Brookers going to chase after him? Where is Sanji and Co? And most likely, how will Luffy and Co face off against Kid Alliance? Because let me tell you one thing. All of those three look very evil. So I'm glad they are going to be our opponents. Give me your thoughts.